Hello, welcome, family and friends, and as always, my beloved veterans, it's Emilia Roman coming at you live from the world iconic Atlantic City Boardwalk and Casino. Look at that beach behind me, and I'm always joined by my lovely, spirited co-host, Umara.
Lodi, welcome everyone on the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Umara. Thank you so much again for always being supportive. I love this. Super excited. We've got so much going on, coming off of all these events. My God, we did Austin Haynes Flashpoint 2020. And in fact, because of that, I got to meet an outstanding gentleman. In fact, one of Austin's great friends and partners. And he's on the show today. What's his name?
His name is Brendan Schaefer, and he is a corporate business strategist that works with some of the most recognized brands in the world. He's extremely popular among his executive peers, and he's known as the go-to resource for CEOs. And I would love to hear more about him from him because he's the tech guy.
That's awesome. Thank you for that, because I actually got to meet him. We were sitting in the same row here at Austin's Flashpoint 2020 when we did that in live studio in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It was amazing. His personality was larger than life. And to see that, we all had a mutual person that we both respect and work with personally, Austin. So some little side things up before we bring him on. He's a real family man. He's a real family man, and he leads with his heart. So while he is very successful in the business world, and he's worked with some of the iconic brands, mega brands that you've all heard of, we won't say that unless he wants to share that. But just know that the reason he's on the show is because of the affiliation that we have with Austin and the fact that he's just a super human being. And you'll get to find that out soon enough. In fact, why just not bring him on right now?
Absolutely.
You ready?
Excited. I'm really nervous and super excited.
Nerve-sighted, and Austin, as Austin likes to say, nerve-sighted. Let's bring Brandon on.
Welcome.
Hey. Good to be here amongst friends, feeling the good vibes coming on through this way for sure.
Good morning.
What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. You got that $1 million smile. I love it.
Hey, thank you, Amelia. Thank you very, very much. It's good to be here, man. I'm always amazed at the relationships that occur when you open yourself up to actually show up. It made a big difference. Just show up. I keep telling myself.
Show up. Yeah, that's great. And you say that because I know that when we first met, you and Daniela, Daniela sends her best to you. And it was just cool because Austin said those very words, that's your thing, right? You always encourage people to show up. Talk about that. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. In my life, I had a lot of broken promises. I had a lot of broken dreams, and I wasn't being true to myself. I was being true to everybody else. I was people pleasing. I was doing all the wrong things for what I thought was the right reasons. And I had to switch that stuff around and take an honest look at myself. And it took getting hit in the head by a 2x4, 15,000 times. Because in my life, I need to hear the same message from different people 1,000 different times to actually get it. Right. If I go to one event or I come on your show one time or I listen to your show one time, yeah, I'm going to digest some of it. But I need to keep planting, man. I need to keep going out there in those fields and keep working. And that comes from showing up. So I'm a big proponent of everybody show up, and not only show up, but show up 365 days a year, 7 days a week. This is not I'm going to take off a 4-week thing and then hit it hard like a crazy person. It's show up every single day. It's 7:00 in the morning East Coast here. I woke up, I shaved for you, I showered, I'm prepared, right? I don't do this for everybody. I only do it for you, Emilio. If you look at my other videos, man, I look like a complete mess. But I wanted to look good for you. I wanted to show up because I wanted to make a big impact.
Hey, man. Wow, man. And you already have, man. What a way to show up on the Spiritual Fitness Sunrise show here. It's just amazing. I'm so excited that I can say I know you. And what is that relationship with Austin? Because I know Austin, he says, if you love me, wait till you meet my buddy, Brandon.
This is what I'm going to say about you, Emilio, is I'm probably going to be having a conversation later on today with somebody and saying, if you love me, you have to meet Emilio. So it's that type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's the water flows downstream. So we're upstream, and we just keep like filtering and growing our networks and expanding that stream, and we're making it into a river and spreading the message and getting the word out there. And I love. Listen, I am not a religious person by any means, but I have a higher power, and I am a spiritual person. I consider myself a spiritual person because I get out there just like you're out there on the beach, right? I get outside in nature. I smell the air. I run. I walk. I work out. All these things make for a good life. Like if I'm being mean to my wife, that's not going to be very good because I'm probably going to be mean to people in business. If I'm mean to people in business, I'm probably going to be mean to my family. I don't want to be like that. I want to be a good person because I want to feel good. And I know when I do good, I feel good.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for that. Because now that you just spoke those words, I remember you saying something very similar when we were at Austin 2020. You said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you had said, I can't be a jerk to my wife and then be a jerk, be super nice and cool to my customers. You said it just doesn't work. You've got to be true to yourself. And when you show up one way, it's how you show up in every other way in your life. So I really appreciate those words.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. It's not like a light switch, where when I come into this office here, I turn the light on and I say, okay, I'm going to be a good person. And then as I leave, I turn the light switch off. Okay, I'm going to be a bad person. Those things that we do on a daily basis affect everything in our lives. For me, I let these outside circumstances sometimes dictate my relationships. So some outside, I'm driving, someone cuts me off on the road. I get upset. I come home, I yell at my wife. That's the wrong thing to do. The better thing to do is actually reach out to somebody and say, hey, listen, someone like yourself, Emilio, and just for 2 seconds say, hey, listen, this jerk just cut me off. Well, what happened? Well, I was driving in the wrong lane. I was trying to get in the right, and I actually cut them off. Oh, I'm sorry. But now I'm going to go home and treat my wife improperly, and I'm going to be mean to my kids. Like it's the mind is so amazing. But I know one thing that I did is set up triggers for myself. So I know if I hold my hands like this, I'm looking for the screen. If I know when I'm getting angry, I hold my hands like this, right? If I go like that, that's a signal to myself. That means, like just like that. That's a signal to myself. Calm down. You're feeling angry. You're feeling upset. When I do this, it means take a breath, calm down. Take a breath, calm down. Because that's not a typical sign that I would use in life. That's not a way I put my fingers in life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a trigger for me. But you can do anything. Some people touch their neck, some people touch their shoulder, some people go here. Whatever it is. That's kind of the way that it works for me.
No, I thank you for that. And before we go into comments, could we all do that and take a screenshot of that? Brandon, could you do that for us again? I want to.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a bad sign or anything else. So
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's you may want to do a different sign, but this is
it's not a bad sign, but I get what you're saying.
It's not a bad sign. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can do it, sure.
Yeah, so someone take a screenshot. Someone take a screenshot of that. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And that way we're going to post that. And Umara, I know we got some comments.
Yes, we have Austin, of course, joined this morning. Hello, Austin.
Hey, welcome.
For joining. And we have our Karen Goddess join us this morning. And she's saying, morning, Austin. Glad I got to meet Brandon at your Flashpoint. Your Turn On Story Starts Here event. And yes, she's saying EFT tapping in a mini form.
Yes. And did you see the go-to? Did you see Austin comment? Did you read that one? Brandon is the go-to guy. So glad he's coming on. All right.
Glad to see Brandon on here. He's a go-to guy.
Excellent, excellent. So, Brandon, you again, I got to meet you, and I just like, man, I wish you were closer, because you're that kind of guy I like to have, coffee with and pick your brain and just share stuff, because you're real. Like I like people that are authentic. What was the biggest lesson? Did you have one or multiple lessons that 2020 has taught you that you want to share with us?
2020 has taught me so many lessons, man. My whole life is a lesson. In reality, every day is a lesson. I'm sure when we get off of here, I'm gonna have another lesson hit me right in the forehead.
Wow.
But a few things is to adapt. Just go with it. Stop fighting. I think it's jujitsu what's the karate way? I don't even think it's called karate, where you use their energy against them. Yeah.
Verbo.
Yeah.
Keto.
Oh, there you go. Keto. There you go. Yeah, you're using their energy against them. And the more I fight, it's like when I was a little kid, I was at the beach, and I was caught in a riptide. And you'll know this in AC. I was caught in a riptide. I was only 10 feet from the shore, man, but I was swimming, fighting it. I started to go under, and once my body gave out, it just flushed me right out to actually where I could see, because I was trying to get out to a sandbar. It actually flushed me out to the sandbar where I could stand. Once I stopped fighting. But what happens is when people fight, it doesn't work. So now I just get out of the way and let the energies flow through. Let the situation flow through. Don't react. Don't overreact. Don't underreact. Don't take it personally. And then just adapt and continue to improve as I go through that situation. But I also recap every situation after it's over and say, hey, what could I have done better? What did I do right? What did I do incorrectly? What can I do better? And I never beat myself up. In this time today, the business is all over the place. People are all over the place. I stay grateful. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I did it already this morning, is I write 5 things I'm grateful for. 5 things I'm grateful for. Again, these are all triggers that set me up for success for the day. I breathe. I take in, I breathe in 5 deep breaths, 6 deep breaths. I get in the right mindset. I do a couple readings, stuff like that. I say, hey, listen, no matter what happens today, I'm going to be positive. No matter what happens today, I am going to come through this. I don't care who's involved, who's not, whatever. I'm going to be true to myself, right? And that's a huge difference. So the main thing is fight, be true to yourself, and lead with your heart, just like you started out the show with.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I mean, that's really things that we talk about here often, and you just poured it out. I mean, you just really articulated that that it resonates. I know that resonates with all of us. Austin does the same thing. I know Umara does the same thing. When I say same thing, the same practice. We do it differently, but we all practice those core gratitude practices, and I love that. Umara, do we have anything there? Do we have anyone else?
Yes, well, Karen is admiring what Brandon just said. She's saying surrender to win. Yes, Brandon, go with the flow. I've already got so much from what Brandon said.
Yes.
Not resisting, showing up, and surrender to win. Absolutely agree with that. And I like what you did there, Brandon. I pinched this part with my hand. Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay. Yeah, those are all triggers. Like I have all these different triggers. Like just calm down. They teach me breathe, because when you breathe, everything gets organized. Now I'm trying to learn one thing that I'm working on this year is actually learning more about breathing. Is learning more about the different techniques, the deep breathing techniques, the short breathing techniques. Mm-hmm. So Emilio, if you're ever doing an event like that down in AC, or you can learn about it and teach me, I'm there, man.
Now, thank you for that. And when it comes to the breathing, this is something I have not mastered, but I teach this, and it's served me well. And there, like you mentioned, Brandon, there's a lot of breathing techniques, but when you're in the heat of the moment, like for me, driving. Let's talk about triggers. Driving. Someone gets behind me close, I just go into like that mode. Like what? Like I want to pump the brakes, and I've done weird stuff and placed myself and my family in jeopardy. So what I do is, and I've come to learn, is that it really takes one full deep breath, but I have to do it, and that is take the full inhale, hands on the wheels, and slowly. So the same speed that I brought the breath in is the same speed that I exhale. And it typically takes that one breath to come back to center because, our thoughts are like all over the place. So that is one that I do daily, but it's one of those things that the automatic response system, when they fight or flight, you're like, ooh. So you have to, the breath gives you that opening. It's that opening to go like, okay, this isn't a real threat, so no, but that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that fight or flight moment is critical because just for me, it's extremely critical because when I'm in that fight or flight mode, I don't think properly. I don't think properly, and when I don't think properly, I act irrationally. So staying out of that fight or flight moment by getting settled in and by breathing helps me out tremendously, and it helps me to stop having to go back a day later, an hour later, 2 days later, a year later, and say, hey, I messed up. I'm really sorry. Because people get tired of that. My wife always tells me, stop being sorry, stop doing it.
Yes.
Stop doing the activity. What's the matter with you? Stop saying you're sorry. It's not okay to say you're sorry. It's okay to say you're sorry. Believe me, yes. But it's better if you don't it's better if you don't do the activity that makes you have to say that you're sorry.
Yes.
So my wife's hard as they come. I love her to death. She loves me to death, but she's as straight up as they come, man. So
straight up as they come, man. God bless you. No, man, this is awesome. And we're talking about this, and my God, I wish I brought a pen because I'm gonna take some notes. Austin, are you there? Because I know Austin. I gave him an invite, but Austin is running. He does his running. He does a bunch of stuff, and I wanted to bring you together here since Austin was nice enough to connect all of us. Austin, if you're ready to come on, let me know. I believe I gave you that link. And Brandon, while we're doing this, what is it that gets you excited? Like what is it? I mean, you share some tips, some gratitudes. Well, what is it that really sparks some joy, excitement in your life?
When I first started out, it was about making money. It was like, hey, I want to make I want to make $10,000 a month. Then I want to make 20. Then I want to make 40. Then I want to make 50. So it was initially money,
right?
But it's kind of transitioned into more helping. Now, money is very important. Obviously, we have bills. We have a bunch of stuff. Like anybody. We have 3 kids. There's colleges. There's everything else. So that is a primary purpose. Believe me, to generate large amounts of revenue in a short amount of time. Gain the most amount of assets in the least amount of time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, that is a primary focus for me.
I get it.
On the other hand, as that kind of fades a little bit, I just really enjoy helping people. I love to see the guy or girl that's a little gritty, that's been a little banged up, that maybe hasn't had the best background, and that maybe wasn't given the opportunity that someone with the silver spoon has had. And there are some shooting stars out there, man. I love to hire people like that. I love to talk to people like that. Those are the people that shine because they have all of that energy. They have all that energy. But sometimes what happens is they have all the energy and they're using it in a negative way. If someone can get in their life, and I'm not talking like a mentor or someone else, I'm just talking about a positive influence can get in their life and just kind of guide them a little bit and say, hey, why don't you try it this way? Because they never had that. Once they get in there, man, they take that energy that they were spending on negative stuff and turn it into positive. All hell breaks loose. They are freaking incredible, man. They become great husbands. They become great wives. They become great partners. They become great employees. They do everything in their life with passion, enthusiasm, fight for that every single day, man. I mean, those are the things, man. Helping people know what they have within them. And just like you do, just like you do, you're doing the same thing with the Spiritual Fitness Academy, identical thing. So,
Brandon, thank you so much. And I want Austin. He's on now. We're going to bring him on, but I really know firsthand. Then I know firsthand about your philanthropic work, if you will, because you did something very nice. But I'll let Austin chime in on that at his event. So let's go bring in our mutual good friend, Austin J. Haynes. And boom!
Whoa!
Morning.
I'm sitting there. a little gritty, a little banged up. I'm like, wait, Brandon, are you talking about me? So
Welcome.
good to see you on here, man. I'm so glad that this connection happened. I'm so glad I could come on and just chime in and just shout. I just love Brandon. I love what he does. I love what he stands for. I love that. You know, you know that Brandon's going to show up. Like everything he's talking to you about, he'll admit that he falls down and messes up, but he continually shows up. And I call him. You know, I called him last night. He's like, man, he's like, I need to get some sleep, brother. He's like, I've been working all day. but no, I call him. He's a major resource for me and so many other people. And he does things that I can't even keep track of. I mean, he's involved in so many things, and he helps so many businesses. It's incredible. So, Brandon, it's good to see you on here, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you. I'm glad that we have our relationship, and I'm glad that I've met Omara and Emilio and Daniela and the whole crew. You know, I'm part of the family. I'm going to eat down the AC one of these times and go do the walk, the workout, the food, the whole thing. Hopefully bring my wife down there
Please. You're welcome.
And I actually missed at the event. I was sick. I wasn't nothing to do with like COVID or anything else like that. I was just so clogged up and whatever. I was fighting it on Friday and Saturday, and Sunday the wheels fell off. So you know, but you also have to listen to your body. That was one thing I didn't do, was I didn't listen to my body. You know, I kept pushing through. My wife's always like, lay in bed. And my wife literally had to lay me in bed and say, it was like 5 o'clock. She's like, I'm taking all your electronic device. I'm taking your screen time, just like we say for the kids. I'm taking your screen time because I hop from screen to screen. I jump from my phone to my computer to my iPad, and then she walks out and I get on some old device as another screen. So I'm taking everything. I'm laying you in bed, and that's it. You know. Wow. And that's what you need. You know, every once in a while you need to listen to your body, and that's when it started. That's when my recovery actually started. So, you know.
Wow. No, thank you for that. And you know, Brent, yeah, it sounds a bit like my wife. Hey, Daniela. And then, you know, I'm kind of like, but, and she's like, just relax. Just relax. You know, the world's going to be here tomorrow, Emilio. You know, you're not the center of it. But,
that's for sure.
Austin, I would like to share, because I got to meet, again, we all got to meet Brandon because of you. And he did something very nice that I know he won't say it, but he did something very nice for those in attendance and those people who couldn't come. But he did something very nice. I'd like you to speak on that.
Yeah. So first of all, when I called Brandon about the event, he said I'm in. He didn't even know what the price was. He's like, "What?" You know, he can tell that story. He wanted to be a part of it, and I was honored to have him, obviously, because I knew he'd be such a resource for everyone. And then number two, had conversations about the event as it was unfolding. We started to get the tickets, and again, this is a live in-person event during a pandemic. We're going to look back on this year. We're going to have so many things to look back on, right? Agreed. This is one of them. So Brandon says, "Well, listen, I'm going to gift tickets." So he ended up gifting tickets to people. He said, "Whoever you think is hungry and wants to go, is going to play full out, is going to be a part of it, I will buy them a ticket." So we ended up doing that. We ended up gifting a couple tickets. And then we talked about relationship day. He said, "Well, he's like, oh my goodness." He's like, "I want to gift those. I want to get a couple couples to come to that." So he was just so moved and wanted to be a part of it and support me. And he just stepped up and gifted tickets. That's the kind of guy Brandon is. And not only that, he took action right away. You know, people say, "Well, I'll get back to you." Boom. How do I register? I'll do it right now. Like, that's the way he operates, because he knows. And you know, and we get this lesson all the time. If I don't do it now, it may not get done. And that happens. I mean, and so he's like, "Let's do it right now." He did it, registered, bought the gift tickets, and boom, it added so much to the event that a lot of people there didn't even know that, but that's what happened.
Yeah, that's amazing. Umar, thank you for that. I know we got some comments, and I want to make sure that Brandon responds to this, but is there a comment or two?
Yes, Lionel joined. Good morning, Lionel. And Cindy Roman also joined. And Karen is agreeing on what you said. "I am sorry" is an apology. Amends is changing the behavior. And she's also agreeing on Brett about the breath, what she said. He's saying pranayama, breathing techniques. Teach. Prana means life force or breath of life.
Amen. Thank you.
I would like to know more about Brandon's superpower and his website, what he offers there.
Oh man, I'm really not sure. I wish I knew. They keep adding products and services I don't even know about. I just show up and go on there and look, and there's all kinds of new stuff on there. But yeah. So typically, what I do is right there's obviously there's an engine that runs here. Okay, for us, there's an engine that needs to feed a family, a home, cars, stuff like that. So obviously there's a strong business model behind this. So what I did was I just started doing the services that I wanted to get and started offering them to other people. I also started to bring my oldest son in. He's 21, and he has a bit of anxiety and stuff like that, in terms of going out. So I started to integrate him into the workflow in terms of getting some of these jobs done to give him an opportunity. I was also able to bring in a few people that were a little bit gritty that I was talking about to give them a chance to see who's going to be the shining star here. Who's going to show up on the field and go. But yeah, the business services are all little knick-knack services, that anything that's like a pain in the behind for you that you wake up or you go to bed with at night when you go to bed. Yeah, it's like, oh, I forgot to do that. Or when you wake up in the morning, oh shoot, I have to do that again. Those shooter I forgot to do that moments in business, anything that you have. Those are the things that we typically do in shortest form. I can give you some scientific term. I can go over everything else, but I'll just say, hey, if you wake up in the morning and say, oh, shoot, I have to do that. Or you go to bed at night and say, oh, I forgot to freaking do that today. If you're saying either one of those to yourself, reach out and I will offer you some suggestions. This is what I always say. I will give you the suggestion. Your cost is free. Your effort needs to be 100%. Right. And I'm going to follow up with you because I know that most people are going to drop off and not do it. And so I say, why don't you try to do it yourself? I'm going to show you what to do. Why don't you try to do it yourself? When you find it too much to do for yourself, come back to me and I'll do it for you then. And I'll charge you.
Awesome. I was going to say, thank you for sharing that. I love that. So now I love this. I love the simplicity of the site, simplebusinesshelp.com. I mean, that just speaks volumes. Now, you come from the corporate world, but who's your ideal client? Like little Emilio over here, like Joe Trainer.
Yeah. So our sweet spot is like $5 million to $100 million a year in annual revenue for a company of 50 plus employees, located in headquartered in the U.S. So those are the types of companies that typically we deal with. We deal with all types of companies, though. And although I say that's our market segment, that's our sweet spot, and that's why that's where 90% of the customers are. I can tell you just firsthand that the 10% that aren't within that are probably the ones that we enjoy working with the most in some cases because we're growing them to that. So everyone has a goal. I'm a big proponent of goals. It's like, hey, take a company that's doing $50,000 a year to $500,000 a year in 12 months. So those are the types of companies that we're looking to do. So if you're currently making $25,000 a year on your gig and you want to get up to 100, that's perfect. That's a perfect scenario. The idea is to continue to grow. I mean, so our market segment, it's like when you talk to a financial analyst, they'll say, oh, well, how much money do you have? I don't deal with anybody under 5 million. Well, I have $1 million. Okay. Oh, I'll take you over here. So it's what they say is really everyone talks a big game. For me, I'm not talking a big game. I'm telling you what our best market segment is, where we see the most profit and we see great success. But another area for us is the smaller is a small business market. Like if you're coming out of school, or if you're coming out of a leadership program, something else like that. Reach out, like get help. The five toughest words I ever had to say is, may you please help me.
Wow.
May you please help me in business and personal. Those 5 words, there's nothing more powerful that anybody on here can say than those 5 words put together.
Wow. Thank you for that. Can someone write that down in the scroll?
Yeah.
Please, I appreciate
please help me.
Yeah.
I love that background, Emilio, too, man. I want to be right there, man.
That's virtual.
Yeah. Hey, it's all you, man. You're welcome down here anytime. You know that, and I'll give you some good information. But wow, like this has really been a lesson, and I'm just like, I'm always, I shouldn't say surprised. I'm in awe, right? Because, we attract certain people and things into our lives, and they say it, and I know everyone on here has heard that you become the average, right, of the 5 people that we hang around with, and so I wanted to become more connected with people that are heart centric, or business owners. And this is happening for me. Costa Rica with Hector, with Austin, with Umara. Like, I'm being wrapped around people that it's not, the money is important, right? And you said that very well. I've also heard it say that money isn't everything, but it ranks right up there with oxygen, right? So we need it. We need it. But it's not the driving force, right? It's really giving. And it's in that part that where we receive all these blessings. So I'm just like receiving this from you, from Austin, from Umara, and coming off this summit. I'm just like, wow, is this really happening? So I have to be on my game. I have to watch my thoughts. I'm gonna start doing this thing here. Watch this trigger. But just amazing. Austin, go ahead, brother.
No, I'm just loving on Brandon. I'm just glad he's on here. I'm glad he's getting some exposure because he is talented, and there's what he can bring to the table is just immense. I just invite everyone to just connect with Brandon, really. And even if you're like, well, I don't know what he does. Well, you heard him. He's here to fill a void maybe you have with your business.
Yes.
Just connect with him. Start, connect with him on the social media platforms. He's always putting an ocean of great content out there. Articles, quote, you name it. It's consistent. You'll definitely get value, even if you never talked to him. You just connected with him on the social media platforms. You would get a tremendous amount of value just by doing that.
Yeah.
So do that.
You know what, Austin? Thank you for reminding me, because the other day I put in a post out there. Everyone here, Brandon, Umara, Austin, I put a post out, and immediately Austin said, "You got to connect with Brandon." So what is it that you're doing with the social media? Because let's just say we're on social media right now. I don't know all the ins and outs of this, but if I wanted to set something up with my content, are you working on anything with that right now?
We work on everything. Yeah. So we do a bunch of content creation. We do a bunch of content posting. And it goes back to the common theme, right? Your efforts need to be 365 days a year, 7 days a week. If it's Hanukkah, we put something in a business's feed for Hanukkah, or a personal profile for feed. Hey, happy Hanukkah. Christmas is coming up. Hey, happy Christmas. Whatever it is, Easter, whatever holiday it is. And then throughout, and then in between those days, every single day, there's some type of post that goes out that helps you increase authority, helps you build influence, those typical things. And persistence wears down resistance, because don't think you're just going to show up one time and that someone's going to hear your message. Like I started this conversation out with, I need to hear it 15,000 times from 15 different people. I'm not saying anything new here. What I'm saying is my interpolated version of what I've learned from Austin, of what I've learned from you, Emilio, of what I've learned from people that I've seen speak, and I kind of tie it together and make my own recipe for success. So what I say in terms of the social is, I'm a big workout person. I love smoothies. So I like banana. I put bananas. I put blueberries. I put all kinds of stuff in. I put protein. I put peanut butter in there. But my kids hate peanut butter, so they don't like peanut butter. So they're making their own smoothie. So here's what I'm saying. So everybody in business has their own things that they like. Now, what I'll do is I'll work with that person or company, and then create a strategy where they can post every single day, 365 days a year, around the things that are important to them. They're not going to talk about things that aren't important to them. They're going to talk about specific market segment things that are important. So if you're in leadership, everything's going to be about leadership, and then you filter in some of your own content as well. And I think it's very important that you have a mix of like 70% outside content, like industry market segment content, and maybe 20 or 30% your content. And then every once in a while, when you run that wheel 365 days a year, every once in a while you can throw in a call to action, right? But if you only get on there and throw a call to action in, people get freaked out. So you need to have that consistent behavior.
Okay.
It's just like a relationship. So if any type of inconsistent behavior drives doubt, any type of doubt drives insecurity. So online, we do the same thing. We're building that same thing, but automatically for people, so that when you wake up in the morning, you don't say, "Oh shoot, I forgot to do that," or when you go to bed at night, you say, "Oh shoot." It just runs. It's. I'm not going to go too far into it, but
Sure.
the one thing that I recommend is I love to answer questions. If you have a question, like I said, it doesn't cost any money. You reach out, get in touch with me through Emilio, through Austin. They'll give you my phone number, and ask the question, and I'll provide a suggestion to you. I think suggestions go a far way, rather than, hey, listen, I'm gonna charge you to do this. I'd much rather you do it yourself and see how much of a pain in the behind it is, and then circle back, because then you're going to see the actual return on investment that you're spending.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm gonna have to go. Once we're done, I'm gonna have to go back and watch my own show, because you got you got so many nuggets, man. I don't got a pen, so I thank you for that, brother. I can't believe this. This is amazing. Umara, I know Umara, her brain is. She's like, wow, all these nuggets. What do you got?
First of all, I would just ask Brandon, would you please help me?
100%, 100 million gazillion trillion %. I'll help anybody, of course. 100%.
Thank you. You asked me to ask a question. Here you go. And all the other people who are listening right now, watching this, I really encourage them to reach out to Brandon as well. With so much, what Amelia said, what Austin said about Brandon, I'm definitely reaching out to you. I'm just going to honor a few comments here. Karen said, I love money, and I love the way I have nurtured my relationship with money. It was when we were talking about money.
Yep.
And she's also saying, Brandon, what a heart of generosity you have to share the gift of tickets to those you served. You are a shining light in the darkness of so many. And Anilda also joined. She said, Brandon is very so. It was a blessing to get to know you in person. Love his sense of humor as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
it takes a team. It takes a team. I mean, there's, if Austin doesn't put the event on, I don't meet you. I don't meet either one of you. It takes a team, and I talked to Austin about this too. Is like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Don't worry about it. Don't hiccup. Don't beat yourself up. Just keep it just like Emilio is doing right now. Left foot in front of the right, left foot in front of the right, right in front of the left, left in front of the right. It's that simple. Walking in the sand is tougher than on the cement. That's the way life is going to be sometimes, right? Try walking in the water. Try walking in the wet sand. It gets even tougher. That's the way life is. I'm a human being. You're a human. Everyone on here is a human being, and that's why we can relate. And I can talk about business. I can talk about all this fancy stuff, but in the end, it's all about relationships.
Yes. I mean, Austin, I'm so grateful for Austin's event. And I know, question, are you going to be at Austin's next event? And Austin, when is the next Flashpoint, brother?
March 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be there, and I'll be gifting some additional tickets too. Are you going to be doing an event? Are you going to be doing an event, Amelia? That's what I want to know. I think you were doing one last weekend, but
yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I'm super excited about the August 9th, 10th, and 11th right here in Atlantic City. It's a 3-day event, and I'm super excited. We're just all praying and hoping that everything stays open, because we're going to be actually right here, 1 block from the beach. So thank you for reminding me. 1 block away from the beach.
Yeah.
It's an all-inclusive. We've got about 15 people that we're going to have, and I'm hoping Austin will come in and give a talk.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'll send you, Brandon. I'll give you the details. But thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I'll get it promoted out, man. I'll get it promoted. That's something we got to get spinning out in the social feeds right there, man. You gotta. The time to prepare is before you need it.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I'm taking notes. Can somebody write this stuff down and send it to me?
You need some BE in your life. You need some BE. That's Brandon energy.
Yeah.
You need some Brandon energy, man.
You gotta be.
Hey, there's no reason to write anything down. Every time I talk, I'm like a broken record. I say the same things over and over and over again. So next time I talk to you, I'll say the same things. There's no need for a pen today, Emilio.
All right. I'm gonna remember that. If it's
Great
gonna
stuff,
be, it's
man.
up to be.
Great
I love
stuff.
it.
Lionel is saying, Brandon, I'm not sure if you purchased my ticket for Flashpoint. I want to thank you so much. And so
Oh,
did
Yes,
because
he
I
did.
attended it online. So maybe you purchased my ticket too.
Wow.
Yes. So yes, Brandon did purchase ticket for Lionel.
Look
Absolutely.
at that.
Thanks, Lionel.
Wow.
Leo.
Leo.
Awesome.
Wow. Look at that. It's just coming all full circle. And then, I mean, how things, you can't give without receiving. And we're seeing that right here live. So oh man. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps, right? It's either because I'm cold or it's just really happening.
it's both. It's
It's
both.
both.
It's a mixture.
This is amazing. So when are we going to see you guys all together again? I mean, I'm loving this space here, but is there anything that's coming before the Flashpoint? Austin, do you have any Zoom calls?
Well, we're all trekking along through the Freedom Challenge right now.
Okay.
I'll do something. I was thinking about doing a graduate summit, but that's all preliminary right now. We're looking at Relationship Day on February 6th, but again,
Okay.
the main thing is going to be Flashpoint March 5th, 6th, and 7th. As these other things materialize, I'll push them out because the New Year's coming and we know what's going to happen there, and people are they're gonna start off all excited, and then they're gonna we know we every year it happens, we know. So we want to get some of those people and get them in our space and be able to build, like Brandon said, be able to build that relationship that's not just one and done, but that we can cultivate over time and help people win, help people win in life and business. Like, it's all connected. We know Brandon talked about that so eloquently. So
Yeah. Awesome, brother. Awesome. I'm super excited. Let's do this before we close out. Let's go to if there's a question, if there's a comment, we'll honor that, and then we'll go ahead and bring it back to Brandon because I know he's getting his day set up. He's one of those guys, like I know, like us. We get up and we got clients and stuff. So if there's a comment, it's fired away.
Well, she's saying the time to prepare is before you need it by Brandon. And Lionel is just repeating what Austin said. BE, Brandon Energy. Love it.
Brandon, what is there anything that you want to leave the audience with? And then what we're going to do is we'll just close out right after that.
Yeah, I just say lead with love. Lead with love in everything you do, in your personal affairs, in your business affairs. Get around people that can help you go in the proper direction. Get around positive people. Get around people doing the right things for the right reasons at the right times, and just use them as your fuel to propel you, man. And don't look back. Drive out of that front windshield. That rear view mirror isn't going to help you. Just keep moving forward, man. Keep trucking.
All right, man.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I know I said Brandon last word, but then I'm seeing Austin. I'm like, Austin, you good?
We're
This is
good.
the last word. Here you
No,
go.
we're good. We're good. I know we're ready. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'll quote Brandon. Brandon's quote, go. That's
Go.
Brandon's
All
quote.
right.
So after this is over, go. One foot in front of the other. We're done.
I love it, guys. We love you all. Blessings. Thank you for showing up, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emilio Roman. I'm America's #1 spiritual fitness coach.
My name is Anilda Davila, and it's an honor for me to know Emilio Roman. I met Emilio through Austin Jane to be part of his co-author network project, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. And to me, it was like a divine connection.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ivy Perez, and I am a certified transformational life coach. Now, I believe in the power of vulnerability. And over the course of the past year, I've been sharing my journey, my story on social media. And Emilio Roman actually reached out to me because of doing that and asked me to share my story. And becoming a part of the co-author network and becoming part of this book, the Spiritual Fitness Survivor book, not only has given me a platform to share my story, it has given me the ability to voice my journey, voice my story so that I can empower others to do the same.
Emilio has done a lot for me. This is actually the second book that I'm in, and it has been an amazing experience, all because of him. So the first one was a great experience, but when he approached me about doing a book with him, that was a no-brainer. Not only is he great at the publishing and doing the book, the support and tips that he gives you along the way are amazing. Even if you're not looking to do a book deal, if you're looking to grow your business, if you're looking to grow yourself and just be a better person, Emilio is definitely the guy that you want to follow.
Hi everybody, my name's Karen Drosnes, and I am a co-author in this magnificent book, Spiritual Fitness Survivor. I met Emilio Roman through a really good friend of mine, and immediately our energies connected. He is extraordinary at what he does, and trust me, you will never feel alone when you work with Emilio. I happen to agree with a good friend of mine, Bridget, who says, even if you would choose not to write in the book, Emilio is someone you must know. I had been planning for a long time to share my story with everyone and the world of overcoming traumas. And then the next thing I know, I just opened my hands up, and guess who jumped in them? Emilio Roman. Thank you so much, and please connect with Emilio. He is beyond amazing.